Greetings, it's Ian from RTO here. Welcome to Monday and the start of a new story, and it's the last one before Christmas, because we're not going to do it once this one's finished. We're going to wait till after Christmas because we've got a new sort of branding going on, so I'm going to start off all fresh in January. So as you found out last Thursday, we're going to look at the career of Richard Thompson, OBE. Born on the 3rd of April 1949, he's an English singer, songwriter, guitarist. And he first gained prominence, of course, with Fairport Convention. He left, went solo, made some albums with his then wife Linda, and has done other projects as well. So we're going to start at the beginning and his time with Fairport Convention. Now, I've done this a little bit different because we have recently done the Fairport Convention. I've done this, ranked these albums he did with Fairport Convention on his actual input to the album. So he made 5 full albums with Fairport Convention, and we're not going to do the ones when he came back here and there. So it's them 5 first albums. So coming in at number 5 from 1968 is the debut album Fairport Convention. Other people playing on here are Judy Dybel, who did the lead vocals and piano, Iain MacDonald, lead vocals and Jew's harp, Richard Thompson, of course, who played lead electric and acoustic guitars and mandolin, Simon Nicol on the vocals and guitars, Ashley Hutchins on the bass, and the late Martin Lamble on percussion and violin. Also Claire Lowther played the cello on here. So the first track on this one is Time Will Show the Wiser. Now this is a real punchy opener. Now Richard on this is his guitar work is very good. Yeah, this is what stands out on this, and of course he does a little bit of the harmony singing. Then you've got I Don't Know Where I Stand, which is a Joni Mitchell number. Judy sings this, and Richard just does his bit. He plays his guitar, and it's pretty good. Then we get If, and in brackets Stomp. This is Richard actually co-wrote this with Iain MacDonald, and it's a short, jazzy, playful rhythm thing with a little bit of a vocal interplay between them. It's not too bad. Decameron, again, Thompson is involved in the writing of this, the music, because it's poetic, loads of dreamy arrangements. Jack of Diamonds, he just plays guitar on this because it's a Bob Dylan number. Portfolio, written by Judy and Ashley. Again, it's just a little bit of Richard's guitar work on that. Chelsea Morning, another Joni Mitchell track, of course. Yeah, but he does his little bit on that one. Sunshade, which he co-wrote, had a little bit to do with it. Just plays guitar on that. The Lobster, again, he co-wrote this with Ashley Hutchins and a person called George Painter. It's an experimental track, as we've said before. It's a bit that Jefferson Airplane vibe about it. Then there's a Hutchins Thompson thing called It's All Right Ma, It's Only Witchcraft, which is a playful nod to Dylan's All Right Ma with a psychedelic twist. So he contributed on that one. One Sure Thing, part of the backing vocals on that, and the playing of his guitar, and then an M1 Breakdown, a short instrumental that he just plays his instruments. So on the Fairport Convention debut album, Richard Thompson's influence was only palpable. His guitar work added a distinctive touch. He had a little hand in the songwriting. He was still finding his voice as a vocalist. So he did play a key role in shaping the sound. So for that reason, I'm going to give that one an RTO ranking of 7.3. Okay, coming in at number 4 is the second album from 1969. It is my favourite album by Fairport Convention, and it's What We Did on Our Holidays. It was the first album, of course, that Sandy Denny appeared on it. So it's got Sandy Denny, who actually appeared in this as Alexandra Ellen McLean Denny on acoustic guitars. Ian McDonald, whatever it was, on vocals and congas. Richard Thompson on guitars and accordion and sitar. Ashley Hutchins on the bass. As ever, Simon McNichol on guitars. Martin Lamble on the drums. Got Bruce Lacey and his robots on Mr. Lacey. Claire Lowther's back playing a cello. Kingsley Abbott's coins on the backing vocals of a few. Paul Gosh and Andrew Hortford do some writing, do some backing vocals. And Peter Ross on harmonica. Okay, Farther in Hay, one of my favourite songs, as you know. It's got some lovely guitar work from Richard on that one. Mr. Lacey, really good track. The great guitar work from Richard on this. A good contributor. And this is, of course, a song as a tribute to Bruce Lacey. Book song, nice, gentle. Sandy and Richard are singing this, so he's starting to do a little bit of thing. There's some nice loud harmonies on that one as well. The Lord in This Place, How Dreadful This Place. There's some nice ambient guitar work from Richard on that. No, it's not too bad. No Man's Land. Richard wrote this himself, and it's a really nice little song. He wrote plenty of these sort of songs. It's just sitting around in a pub. Very good song. Nice, simple guitar. I'll Keep It in Mind, Bob Dylan. Sandy sings that. So Richard was just playing on that one. Eastern Rain and Joni Mitchell, they did a lot of her stuff. Again, it's more of his guitar playing on that. Not to Tum Down, he's credited to arrange this traditionally, so he put his input on his instruments. Very good old folk song like that. Tale in a Hard Time, another Richard Thompson pen track. Some nice little guitar bits on this. Ashley Hutchins' bass is good, but no, it's just Richard's song getting the sole writing credit. She Moves Through the Fair, which is an additional one, so Richard put in his input on arranging some of the guitar work on there. So yeah, it's pretty good. Meet Me on the Ledge, one of his best ever songs he ever wrote, I think. It's poetic. It's the harmonies are led by Sandy. It's really, really good. It's sort of their unofficial theme, isn't it? End of a Holiday. Yeah, it's a lovely track. I think it was more about his playing and arranging on that song. So on this album, Richard did step up, writing a few songs on his own and his instrumental contributions. Especially Meet on the Ledge, which has become sort of a legendary song. So for that one, I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 7.6. Okay, coming in at number 3, the third album from 1969, and it's Unhalfbricking. Again, Sandy Denny vocals and harpsichord. Richards plays on here. He plays electric and acoustic guitars, the electric dulcimer, piano, accordion, organ, and does backing vocals on this. Ashley Hutchins, of course, bass and backing vocals. Simon Nicol on guitars as well. Martin Lamble on the drums. Additional on here, Ian Matthews backing vocals, and Dave Swarbrick on the violin and mandolin. Trevor Lucas plays a triangle. Oh. Mark Ellington vocals, and Dave Mattox does some drums as well. So Genesis Hall, another Richard Thompson track. It's a very haunting ballad. I mean, Richard's lyrics on this are superb. It's my second favourite track on this track. It's really, really good. And Sandy delivers Richard's words wonderfully. Then we got Si tu dois partir. It's actually a French version of If You've Got to Go, If You Got to Go, Go Now, Dylan. It was a hit. Just in his wonderful playing on that. Autopsy. It's a Sandy track. It's a great track. I love that track. A Sailor's Life. It's a traditional one. So Dave Swarbrick's on here. The arrangement, obviously, Richard would have been heavily involved in arranging this for this track. Cajun Woman is a song written by Richard. It's got some very humorous lyrics. Richard Thompson has got a good sense of humour, and you'll see this through his career. He writes with some passion and a little bit of fun there. It's a real good track. And then Who Knows Where Time Goes. That's not... He was just on musical, playing the guitars and whatever else. And then Percy's Song, once again, is a Bob Dylan, and he was just more involved in the playing, just like $1 Million Bash. I mean, on this album, Richard's guitar skills and songwriting continued to grow. He was progressing. You know, he wrote Genesis Hall and played a pivotal role in the album's unique sound. Once again, his contributions were a key part that made this album so distinctive. So for that reason, I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 2, we got the fourth album. Again from 1969, and it's Liege Lief. You got Sandy Denny on here, Dave Swarbrick, Richard Thompson, Simon Nicol, Ashley Hutchins, and Dave Mattox. So the first track is Come All Ye. Richard's contribution here would have been playing guitars, and it's very distinctive. You can tell the difference between Simon and Simon, so he did a lot on there. Then we have Reynard Line, which is a very traditional folk song. Again, you've got Richard probably did a lot of the arranging, and you've got Dave Swarbrick's wonderful violin on there. Matty Groves, which is another traditional song. Again, the guitar work is really good on that from Richard. Excellent. Then Farewell, Farewell, that Richard wrote. Sandy Denny just delivers these poetic and resonated lyrics from Richard. Wonderful track. The Deserter, again, it's arranged by the band, so Richard would have had probably a lot of input on that. And then we got this instrumental medley, which again I think a lot of the guitar arrangements would have been arranged by Richard and probably Simon. Toss the Feathers, very traditional. Thompson's guitar, Richard Thompson's on top form on the guitar, along with Mr. Swarbrick's violin. Tan Lin, he would have had a lot of input on this, as some of the arrangements are quite intricate, and that would have been Richard. Crazy Michael, a song that Richard wrote with Dave Swarbrick, and it's a really, really good. It's steeped in myth and metaphor. Some wonderful lyrics there, and of course Sandy just delivers it powerful as ever. So on Liege Lief, Richard really started coming to his own. All his guitar work were front and centre on this album. You find his stamp on the tracks like Crazy Michael Man, He didn't do any lead singing, but his guitar work truly shone on this album. So I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 8.3. So the number one album which Richard really delivered was their fifth album, and it's Full House. It came out in 1970. The first album without Sandy Denny. Ashley Hutchins had gone to form Steel Eye Sparks, so they brought in Dave Pegg. And this was Richard's last album with Fairport Convention as well. So the first track is Walk a While, written by Dave and Richard. It's a good track. I think Richard did a lot of the sets, sang on this. It's a really good song. You know, great words written as well. Doctor of Physique is a quirky little song. Second favourite on here. Again, Richard's really involved with this. Dirty Linen, he would have been well involved with the guitar work on that. It's a traditional song. And then Sloth or Sloth, which is a haunting track. It's moody, it's hypnotic. Richard and Dave wrote that. They did a lot of writing on there, and they sing it on it as well. St. Patrick Spens, another traditional song, so Richard would have had a lot of input on arranging this. It's really good. Flatback Caper, again, it's another arrangement. Again, Richard would have had a lot of work to do with that and getting it what it was. Flowers of the Forest is a solemn track. Again, it's a traditional. Richard, his guitar playing on these tracks is super. And that was the last track. So Full House was a pivotal album for Richard. Here is songwriting, guitaring, singing. Sloth is the standout track. His guitar work and songwriting truly shone, and this is where he really started to get into his own. And obviously he went off to do other things, but this was the album that he made so much contribution to. So I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 8.5. Okay, that's part one done. Part two is a very short one. He only made one solo album in the 70s, and that's Henry the Human Fly. So we'll have a look at that next week. Okay, coming up next is a perfect start side, and we're going to jump into some Dutch legendary Golden Earring for the Moontan album. So join me for that. Bye for now.